The first week of 2024 has been quite eventful, and that's a little bit of an understatement. But enough of that. These are going to be my top 3 favorite applications you should be running on your PC right now. And I forgot to mention, they're free. All right, we're diving right into the first application, and this is going to be called FxSound. It could be found on the Microsoft Store when you type in the search bar. So after opening up the application, you're actually greeted with a plethora amount of presets for EQ. And right next to it, you're going to have all the different types of sources connected into your computer. So you can actually go ahead and change sources simply by using this feature. You don't necessarily have to mess with the Windows OS for that. And right below it, you're going to have the 9-band EQ, and it's fully customizable from the bass going as low as 86 and the highs going as high as 16 kilohertz. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily get into the sub bass category, so if you're trying to run this EQ on a sub, you will not be able to customize the subwoofer and how low you want those frequencies to be. So just an FYI. And on the left hand side of the application, you're going to have different sound settings. One for clarity, which is going to kind of be focusing on the high end fidelity and presence. Surround sound, it kind of gives you a wider soundstage, and a bass boost, which is pretty self-explanatory, but just increases the bass. That's literally it. And on the bottom left hand side, you're going to have a hamburger menu, and from there it's going to show you the settings, ways to save a preset if you want to customize the 9-band equalizer, and many other options down below. On the bottom right hand side, you're able to control the size of the window, and personally I kind of like to just leave it at full size just in case I need to kind of change something in the equalizer, which is very easily accessible. And right below, you're gonna have the big red button. It's just simply an on and off switch. No, it does not turn off any of your sources or headphones. All it does is just turns off the equalizer, which is a very, very easy thing to do. If you have some headphones that you kind of like the tuning, you kind of like the sound, you can just simply turn it off. It just turns off the equalizer. Your headphones will sound out of the box. And with so many presets, it's such a nice thing to have. It's just so many different options. But one thing I do like to mention is, well, these headphones. They sound like, after using this application, I'm happy to say that, well, these pairs of cans are gonna stick with me just for a little bit while longer. It went from sounding absolutely horrible to sounding very decent. It gives it a very, very different sound signature, a lot better than what it sounded before. So yeah, this app has been a lifesaver for me, and especially since I'm barely kind of getting in the world of IEMs and kind of like an audiophile-ish world, I love to experiment with different headphones, but I also like to see how different headphones sound with different EQ. As amazing as this app is, unfortunately, there's a couple of downsides. One thing I do hate about it is when you completely have it off and you exit out of the app, for some apparent reason, it does not necessarily appear on the hidden icons menu on the bottom right hand corner of your Windows OS. So one thing I would recommend is pinning it to your taskbar. An easy way to do that is just simply dragging an icon over to your taskbar down below, and you're good to go. So that's about it, and well, it's completely free, and the most I've ever seen on the usage of this application is 16 megabytes of RAM, which is not even alive. That's nothing basically. So yeah, very low usage, free, and it's very, very effective, and the #1 application I recommend from this list. So number 2 on this list is going to be called EarTrumpet. EarTrumpet could be found also on the Microsoft Store. Simply go into Microsoft Store, search it, and just search EarTrumpet. So on the bottom right hand side of the hidden icon bar, you're gonna find the sound icon, which is kind of weird because you see the sound icon already on your main taskbar. No, this is actually going to be the EarTrumpet application. Go ahead and click on it, and you're greeted with a whole plethora of your sources that you have connected to your computer. So for me, I have like 60 different things right here, and it's kind of cool because you're able to customize how loud you want each application to be on each one of your sources. So headphones, I want a volume a certain way. speakers, I want my volume a different way. It's such a nice quality of life change. It just makes everything super convenient, which is one thing I definitely do love. Last but certainly not least is going to be our third favorite app, which is going to be RawAccel. RawAccel is an application that actually fixes your aim, and no, it's not aimbot, nor is it cheats. Check this out. So when you type in RawAccel download on Google, you're greeted with a GitHub on the first bar. Go ahead and click on that. After you clicked on it, there's going to be a download and installation guide. It shows you how to download this application. There's a YouTube video kind of breaking down how to download it, but it's very simple. Go ahead and click on the first RawAccel.zip where it says assets. After you clicked on it, it's going to download in the background, and once it's done, go ahead and right click it and extract all. For me, since I've already extracted it before and have this application, I'm going to go ahead and replace it, just do it all over with you. So you're greeted with the folder. Go ahead and click on the folder. After you click on the folder, go ahead and select installer, accept everything, and after that it will install it for you. All right, after you go ahead and clicked on the installer, you're going to go ahead and restart your computer. Once you've restarted your computer, you're going to go back to this folder, and right here where it says RawAccel.exe, you're going to go ahead and click on that. And just like that, we are in the application. Very simple. So currently I have everything kind of set to default. I'm not going to mess with anything just yet. Originally, your rotation is going to be set to 0, but let me show you why you need to change the rotation setting. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Paint, and I'm going to show you guys why I changed the rotation setting. Oh, when I naturally move the cursor from right to left, this is how it looks like. As you can see, everything is kind of tilted a little bit this way, right? So by changing the rotation, I'm able to kind of shift that kind of more horizontally. Let me show you what I mean. So I go back to the actual application, and well, I'm going to change the tilt. You can kind of mess with this setting, and if for some reason it just makes it all whack, just change it back to 0. But for me, I have it at 3.5. You can do any type of decimal interval as long as it's in the 10s. So you can do 3.1, 2.1, 1.1, whatever you want it to be. So I make the change to 3.5 and I go back to Microsoft Paint. So now I'm going to go ahead and swipe from left to right, and you're going to see a huge difference. As you can see, it is a huge change. It went from something completely like sideways to basically somewhat horizontal. Obviously, it's still not horizontal. If you're someone who wants to keep it horizontal when you're playing video games like Valorant or CS, you definitely could change it to 4, maybe 3.7, etc. But for me, these settings are perfect. However, each individual could be a little bit different. So if you're someone who aims maybe a little bit more differently, maybe this way. I can't do it, it's so hard. But maybe your line is that way. For you will probably do a -2. I don't know, let's just do that, right? I have a straight line. So yeah, there's a lot you can get into this application. Rem has a great tutorial. You can definitely check it out. It goes into the nitty-gritty of this whole thing. You can actually change the whole curve signature. So maybe if you swipe really fast, it goes a little bit slower, or if you swipe super slow, maybe go a little faster. It's crazy how in-depth this app gets into. So go ahead and check his video out. But for me, setting a simple rotation, fixing it to make it more horizontal is perfect. It makes my gameplay a lot smoother and definitely feels a lot more natural. When I'm aiming from side to side, it's easier to hit headshots and flicks. So yeah, it's definitely a life changer and something I recommend for every single gamer out there. And well, a lot of other people are using it and they have yet to report any bans of any sort. So it's pretty fair to say that it is safe to use. So these are going to be my top 3 applications of 2024, something that every PC should have. What do you guys think of the list? go ahead and, you know, leave a comment down below your favorite applications. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up for me. Subscribe if you guys want to watch more content, and well, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.